Our survival instinct is our single greatest source of inspiration. What does research tell us is the last thing you're gonna see before you die?
Like something's gonna hit him.
Your children. Their faces. At the moment of death, your mind's gonna push a little bit harder to survive. For them.
Deep breath.
I don't know what's going on. I just know this is intense.
I never really considered the possibility that my planet wasn't the one. Nothing worked out the way it was supposed to. Let's go.
What did he just do? What did he just do?
You just...
Oh!
All right, hey buddy, why don't you give me a big deep breath?
What? Oh my God.
What is this?
What are you doing? I'm sorry. I can't let you leave with that ship. We're gonna need it to complete the mission. Once the others realize what this place isn't, we cannot survive here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They can't stay here anymore.
You have to leave. Right now. Okay, let me make something abundantly clear. You have a responsibility. Oh, Jesus!
You faked all the data. Yes. I tried to do my duty, Cooper. But I knew the day that I arrived here that this place had nothing.
If I just pressed that button and somebody would come and save me. You fucking coward. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. Wow.
You just you guys can't.
Get out. And don't come back.
Man.
No.
No! Antimatter, there's a 50-50 chance you're gonna kill yourself. Those are the best odds I've had in years.
I didn't expect Matt Damon to be like this. Oh my God.
Don't judge me, Cooper. You were never tested like I was. Human have been.
And the music. Okay, I'm feeling emotional.
You tried your best, Mark.
The music in this definitely is. It adds to the emotion.
I'm sorry, I can't watch you go through this. I'm sorry. I thought I could, but I can't. I'm here. I'm here for you. Just listen to my voice, Cooper. I'm right here.
So sad.
You're not alone.
Is he gonna turn back because of compassion?
Do you see your children? It's okay. They're right there with you.
Does he see the chip thing?
Do not go gentle into that good night. Help! Help! Cooper?
I'm sorry.
What?
Man, was lying.
Please don't make
How'd that happen?
Robin.
Keep watch!
I don't understand.
Put under the caution case.
Safety first, Cooper.
Romilly, Romilly, do you read me? This is Brand. Romilly!
I don't understand. Oh, wait. So did he just kill, was it Cooper, and took the ship?
Tars, 10 o'clock.
It's like saving a dog.
Let me know when Tars aboard.
Romilly did not survive.
This is so emotional.
Go wait by the car.
What? So did she set fire to the field so that they'd have to leave? Is that what? Is that what? Okay.
Get in the back seat now.
And why did he want to stay? I missed that part too. Why did?
Dr. Mann, please respond.
Do not attempt docking. I repeat, do not attempt docking. Please respond.
This movie is so emotional. It's intense and emotional, and it's intensely emotional. Oh God. This is intense. And the music makes it intense. God, this movie's so emotional. God. Alright, camera stopped. Looks like it does it every 27 minutes, but I don't care. This movie is really good that even with all these technical issues, I'm still in the movie. God, I'm so emotional. Okay.
There is a moment.
Oh, that got me. Did he run the ship? Wait, was that who she was in love with? Oh my God.
Cooper, what are you doing?
Docking.
Intense. They're gonna make it. She blacked out. Man, the music in this.
Okay, we're out of orbit.
So good.
And for our next trick.
You don't have to be good. We're heading into Gargantua's pool.
What?
Cooper, we're slipping towards Gargantua. Shall I use main engines?
Cooper, you asshole.
Oh, he's Cooper.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there. On Earth, if I can find a way to transmit the quantum data I'll find in there, they might still make it.
Let's just hope there's still someone there to save.
Most of this movie is going over my head.
Goodbye, Tars.
Goodbye, Dr. Brent. See you on the other side, Coop.
No! Cooper!
3.
Cooper, what are you doing?
We gotta leave something behind.
You told me we had enough resources for both of us.
90%.
Really?
Okay. Screens. Flashes
This
of
is
light.
interesting. I almost forgot about them. Eject. So now he's just floating in a black hole? God. What is that? No. That's not the other side of the bookshelf. Wow. Yep, this whole movie's.
Tell him, Murph. Make him stay. Murph.
What would him staying do? I remember that.
Make him stay, Merv.
They constructed this three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow you to understand it.
Hell, that ain't working.
Yes, it is.
Murph, the fire's out! Come on!
Even if you communicate it here, she won't understand its significance for years. Cooper, they didn't bring us here to change the past.
Say that again.
They didn't bring us here to change the past.
They didn't bring us here at all. We brought ourselves.
So there is no they?
Tart. Could be the coordinates for NASA in binary. They didn't choose me, they chose her.
For what, Cooper?
Oh, there is a they.
To save the world.
This whole movie.
All of this.
Okay, so she's... Okay, I get that much that they're... Okay, he's using Morse code with the watch. Okay.
Did it work?
I think it might have.
No. What happens now?
Oh, when her hand is doing the... He's going back in time.
Mr. Cooper, actually, you are 124 years old.
What?
She's still alive.
So now
We'll have you
she's
checked out of here in a couple days.
older than him.
Well, my dad was a farmer. Like
our nose and mouth, so we wouldn't read the
pretty exciting for me because
Replaced and
It's a museum.
You told him I like farming. It was me, Murph.
no. Brand. Alone in a strange galaxy.
But the whole time.
Maybe right now she's settling in for the long nap. In her new home.
It didn't show if you made it to her. That was intense. So this was Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, okay. Taking these out. Wow, that was emotional. I feel really emotional. Gosh. I want to twist it. That was really emotional. And definitely, like, did not follow the whole time and all that. Yeah. I can't think how to respond. It was good. I liked it. Long movie. But it was good. It was intense. And the music was good. The music definitely added to the intensity. A lot of times it sounded like a church organ. I wonder if that's what it was. Gosh, I feel so emotional right now. Like I feel like I've just been through a really intense emotional roller coaster. And that's because I have been. I can't imagine how editing this is gonna go. Because already, like, it was a long movie and very intense, so that's a lot to go through anyway. But with all my technical issues I had, I don't know what was wrong. It was like the camera didn't turn off. I'm not gonna bore you with all the technical issues, but I had a lot of them, but the movie, it kept me pulled in even with all my millions of technical issues. Like, I still feel really emotional. Alright, well, I can't think of anything else to say. That was a good movie. It was intense. It was intensely emotional. It was about astronomy, which I love. And yeah, I feel like as much this was so scientific, like, or I guess you would say sci-fi. This was so sci-fi, but it was an even deeper drama. Like, good night. I didn't expect to be that emotional. Well, gosh, I still feel so emotional. Was this emotional for anybody else who saw this? Was this, like, super emotional for you? I wonder. Hello, Editing Hannah here. So just gonna share some notes that I took during editing, watching the movie, and recording on my phone, because I'm recording on my phone because I am still drawing blanks from being on camera a lot of the time. So for this editing segment where it's me editing Hannah sharing my thoughts on the movie, I'm trying things with my phone to see if maybe that helps me not draw as many blanks. So, okay, so notes on Interstellar. First off, there is a lot about this movie that is probably very noteworthy that I do not have notes on. There's a lot to this movie that, you know, it deserves a lot more credit. These are just a few of the things that stuck out to me. So the first thing I have is cinematography. Spectacular. The space shots were awesome. They were outstanding. I put this would be awesome to watch in an Omnimax, which is one of those like domed theaters that usually they just show documentaries, but you know, the screen isn't just in front of you, it's all around. This would be awesome to watch in that, at least a lot of the space scenes. I've watched stuff in Omnimaxes where it's like, when it's mostly showing people, it's not that enjoyable because you're just looking at a 100-foot person. So not every shot in this would be great to watch in an Omnimax, but the space scenes would be. The space scenes would be incredible. The scene where I called it the time stuck scene, that looked awesome. I didn't understand that scene, how that, you know, whatever, but it was awesome. They did a really amazing job with the whole spectacle of it all. The different planets. That was fascinating, and it was filmed well, and the scenes were amazing. That was so interesting, and so it was amazing visually. Okay, so that's my notes on cinematography. The music, it was intense, it was amazing, and I was right, it was with a church organ. I looked it up. Hopefully my audio is okay over here. I don't know, it's only 3 sentences, I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you. But this is according to classicfm.com. It took Zimmer 2 years to create the intergalactic score. For the final recording, he and Nolan visited London's Temple Church to record on the 1926 foreign manual Harrison and Harrison, Oregon, played by Church's music director Roger Sayer, if that's how you say his name. He later added an ensemble of 34 strings, 24 woodwinds, and 4 pianos, and Zimmer himself played some solo piano scenes. So yeah, I was right. That was church organs. It was incredible. I loved it. It felt unique, and it felt intense, and it added to every scene. So yeah, this movie was intense and emotional, and the music really enhanced everything. It really did. Because the movie, it was really, really good, but with the music, it like doubled it or tripled like the intensity and the emotion. It was awesome. Some of the scenes that were really like, whoa, because of the music. There was a bunch of them, but I just wrote down a couple. I called it The Sham.
This was all a sham. You left us here.
That, the music made that intense and made it like, what? The music really made you feel like, oh shit. It was awesome. The docking, anytime they were trying to dock their ship, the music really made that awesome.
Docking.
The really emotional part.
Name's Lois. Start right there.
Gosh, the music made that awesome. The music made it so much more. It was already emotional, but the music was powerful. The suspense when the two, I put Matt D and Matt H, when they were fighting.
Yes.
And the way that the music was just so intense through that whole sequence, and it was showing on Earth. Even though it was confusing, I didn't really know what was happening, I was into the intensity, and the music just really kept you pulled in. So yeah, a lot of credit to Hans Zimmer and all the people that made the music happen, because it was incredible. The music during the stay scene is what I put it. That was incredible. So yeah, there were so many more scenes that the music just really made it incredible. But yeah, that's my last notes on the music. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. The quiet. The quiet in the space scenes, like how the silence of space really played a part. The silence wasn't just coincidence, it was intended. I mean, I'm not claiming to know what was in Christopher Nolan's head, but it's like the way that it struck me, it was like the silence was its own character in the movie. Like it was powerful, and it had an impact. I just thought that was brilliant filmmaking. The plot was awesome. Like I said a million times, the time stuff, that all went over my head. It was fascinating. And there was definitely things where my brain thought, well, that wouldn't be that way. It would be this way, wouldn't it? Or whatever. But the whole movie just, it's like, I didn't care even if I disagreed or I didn't understand it. The movie was intense and kept me engrossed anyway, which to me, that's a great movie when it can do that. So I put, this went over my head, but it was a fun mind twister for your brain to chew on, which it was. Very fun. I love that it had to do with a wormhole. That's a fascinating theory. So that's interesting. The time lapse, interesting. It went over my head, but it was interesting. The whole, an hour here is 7 years on Earth.
Well, that's relativity, folks.
I was a little confused with the frozen planet, because if that's the whole, if that's taking up time on Earth, why were they spending so much time there? Like they were exploring and stuff. So I don't know, I didn't quite understand that. But like I said, this movie was so interesting that it didn't pull me out of it, even if I was confused, which I often was. Yeah, the stress scenes were done excellently. A lot of that credit I feel goes to the music and the acting, and well, it's all like, that's what I was saying earlier, like there's so much to this movie that made it incredible. The acting, the cinematography, the writing, the music, the directing. It was a very well done movie. Very, very entertaining to watch. This movie inflicted so much emotion and I'm impressed. So yeah, there's that. Not to be negative, but it did feel kind of long, almost like, did it have to be that long? But part of my experience, I had a million technical issues, so I'm sure with the long movie that made it feel a lot longer to me. But again, like I said, I'm impressed with this movie that even with all my technical issues and even with it being so long, I still was reeled into it. I was still feeling the emotion and the intensity, and when it was over, if you're still watching to this point, you saw that I was just still feeling so much emotion. So yeah, it was long, but it was well done the whole time, so. All right, and then I got some character notes. So I guess I'll start with Matthew McConaughey. I'm not really sure how to say his name, Matthew McConaughey or Matthew McConaughey, and I don't know how to spell it. Every time I wrote his name down, it's like, yeah. Amen. Excellent acting. You could really feel his emotion. You could feel his pain, his turmoil. You could feel his intense struggle and emotion throughout the entire movie. Matthew McConaughey was so good at this character that most of the movie, it felt like you were the one going through this. Like I could feel his pain and pulling from his children, and the whole just intenseness, the whole intensity. I keep saying that word a lot, but this movie was intense. But yeah, it felt like I was going through that, even though I was watching his character. So I think that's amazing. Yeah, I said it felt like you were the one going on this intense, burdensome, stressful, incredible journey. So yeah, so that's my notes on Matthew McConaughey. So good job, Matthew McConaughey. My next notes are on Matt Damon.
Don't judge me, Cooper. You were never tested like I was.
That was a nice surprise. I did not know he was in this movie. So my thoughts on him, it's kind of hard to describe. I think Matt Damon did an astounding job. Okay, I'm gonna read what I wrote and then I'll hash it out. I could feel his pain and despair and disgrace and desperation. It's easy to judge a character, especially when there's a lot at stake. But I think in this movie, with Matt Damon's character, it did a good job showing how when a human is pushed past their threshold and beyond, that they're capable of horrible atrocities. Not to justify it, but I think it's good to understand. Like okay, I'm trying not to read to you, but yet my mind draws a blank at like, what am I trying to say? I put, even in his atrocity with Matt Damon, you could see his strife because of his humanity that was buried under all of his pain and desperation.
I'm here. I'm here for you. Just listen to my voice, Cooper.
And I could feel that. I could feel I could feel the humanity underneath all of the horribleness that he was doing. I think that anyone pushed past their threshold and in a horrible situation could be capable of horrible things. I think we'd all like to think that when pushed beyond our threshold that we would not do horrible things, and maybe we wouldn't. But I think that it's possible that we could be capable of horrible things when pushed past our threshold. So anyway, not to go on a depressing note, but that's what I felt from Matt Damon's character. And like I said, I think he did an astounding job because I could feel all that from his character. I could feel he had compassion and he had a desire to do what's right. But after years and years of this, hopelessness and despair, and the realization that he could spend the rest of his life alone, it pushed him past his breaking point to do things he never thought he would do. And I felt all that from Matt Damon's character. So good job, Matt Damon. I put the guy that slept for 23 years, Romilly, is his character, and I'm not even going to try to say his name, David, but he was a good actor. The part that stuck with me about his character was, how am I doing? Oh no, I'm going to stop and start. Okay, with Romilly. The part that stuck with me about his character was the scene when they got back on the ship and it had been 23 years.
Hello, Rom?
I've waited years.
And it made me sad when Matthew McConaughey's character just brushed past him and didn't even offer to hug him. It was like, oh. I mean, I understand he'd just been through hell and, just came out of hell and, now it's been 23 years. I understand that, but I felt like, he could have at least given him a hug. Just like with Matt Damon's character, he gave him a hug.
Reality's different.
Like, that was a jaw-dropping scene, and I felt like he would have reacted differently, more like the way Matt Damon's character did, which I know that scene hadn't come about yet. I love how that scene was done like that. I felt that. It made me want to cry more, and I could feel that he'd been hopeless and gone, and had been abandoned, and feeling like he's going to be alone forever. And since that's what Romilly went through, I felt like that would have been his reaction. And cat's pawing me. Hi, baby. Luna, say hi. Okay. And then the last two notes I have, I just wrote a few notes on Brand, Anne Hathaway's character. I don't have a lot on her. She's laying down on me. Cat. I think she did an excellent job. A tiny part that stuck out to me about her character, and this is gonna seem so tiny, but this stuck out to me. In the scene when Matt Damon woke up, and that was a very emotional scene, and I was feeling the pain that Matt Damon's character, I still don't remember his name, but that he went through. So that was a very well done scene and very emotional, and I felt that. When it showed Anne Hathaway for 2 seconds, there was something in her expression and her eyes that added so much to that scene. I mean, the scene was Matt Damon, and Matthew McConaughey, had a lot to do with it, but it was mainly about Matt Damon. Just, I feel like she added to it. And then also, before Matthew McConaughey drops off, I felt the emotion with that. When she said, "You told me we had enough resources for both of us," I felt the pain from that, and I really thought Matthew McConaughey was probably gonna die. So I was feeling the emotion from that. So she did real good in that. And she did good in other scenes too. But those were a couple that stuck out to me. And I feel like all the acting in this movie was good. Like the guy that played Doyle, Michael Caine, everybody did a good job in this movie. And then one last thing, not to be negative, but I feel like the scene when Cooper goes in to see Murph, old Murph, the extras, they should have been more in awe, because this was the famous, I don't know his first name, Cooper, that Murph Cooper is the one that basically saved the world, and everybody had heard about him all those years. So I felt like when he walked in the room, they should have been more in awe, and especially the music in that scene really was incredible. And I don't know, I didn't really pay much attention to the extras. I didn't really look at each of their expressions, but some of them, it's like, it just felt like they were kind of like, oh, here comes a man walking in the room. And I felt like it should have been as powerful as the music in that scene. They should have been like, this is him. And instead it just felt like, oh, here comes a guy. Anyways. So yeah, incredible movie. And yeah, I think it's amazing when I can have a million technical issues and the movie keep my emotions reeled in the whole time. I think that shows a lot about a movie. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say, Luna? Looney wants to say hi. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.